Have you ever wondered if you really have what it takes in order to step out of your job and start your own business and actually succeed at it? Well, the answer to that question is exactly what you're gonna get in this video. You're gonna see, do you have what it takes to become your own boss and to successfully step out on your own? We're gonna look at 4 different criteria to help you evaluate yourself. And contrary to popular belief, we're not gonna be talking about business ideas or how much cash you got in the bank and how much you can last on and do what, how much earnings you need to have at some point. This is gonna be all about, can you actually do it? Do you personally have what it takes? Because the reality of it is, whether you can buy a massive company or you start something from scratch or do a franchise, if you don't have these 4 things working in your favor, then you're just gonna be at risk of losing your money and your business is going down or not getting off the ground at all, and you stepped away from a job and an income and your family's hurting now. You gotta be sure that you're willing to do what it takes. Now, altogether, each of these 4 factors are gonna spell out the key word that you need to have in your mind of, this is how to make a company work for myself. And if you're missing any one of these, you just need to know what they are so that you can add that to yourself. And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe you should reconsider becoming a business owner. Now, before we dive in, you may be wondering who I am. My name is Matt Pinkarina. I'm the CEO of the Assett franchise brand. I used to work in jobs and in a career, left all that to start my own business, became my own boss, made a lot of mistakes along the way. And now what I do and what we do at the Assett franchise is help people become first-time business owners themselves. So with that, let's dive right in to the first one. This first factor that you must have starts with the letter G, and it is guts. Now let me clarify something here. What I don't mean by guts is blind stupidity. Think of someone that you would call gutsy. Maybe a professional ball player in the field or on the court. They see an opportunity, they take the gap, right? They run for it and it works. Or maybe it's even a past boss or someone that stood up and had to say something to a group of people that was uncomfortable, but it was well thought through and it needed to happen. You see, what guts really is calculated courage. And in the most immediate sense, yes, that is stepping out and actually starting the business after going through calculating and making sure things are at least aligned enough, right? If you're waiting for the entire picture to be perfect, then you don't have guts, right? Guts is taking action when there's a bit of uncertainty and unclarity going on, but you know enough and you put courage into the equation and go. And not only starting, guts can be actually having conversations with your spouse, with future employees, with future customers, if you're not the kind of person who is gonna say what needs to be said. Now, to be clear here, I'm not the kind of person that likes to offend people. I like to get along with everybody. But this was a skill and a virtue, I'm gonna call it a virtue, right? Maybe it's a vice, that I had to develop over time to have difficult conversations with people. Now, the way that we have those conversations can be a skill. Absolutely, but it has to be done. And if you're not willing to step into a realm of discomfort and take action, then you don't have guts and your business is gonna fail because you're not gonna take the actions that it needs. A great analogy for this is what Elon Musk once said. He said, it's like eating glass. Somebody in the company has to eat the glass and it's always the owner. No one wants to do it. It hurts, it stinks, and it happens. It doesn't have to be constant and how well you run the business, and there's other things we can do, right? But there are gonna be times when you have to do things that are so uncomfortable, no one else in your company is gonna be willing to do it, and you have to be willing. But that's why the business owners make the big bucks, right? So do a gut check and make sure something's there so that you can do what needs done. The next virtue you need to have within yourself is gonna start with an R, and it's gonna be resilience. And the best way to understand resilience in the reality of owning a business is emotional stability when under pressure. Now, what I'm not saying is you don't feel anything. I feel all kinds of things at times, but I still have to act no matter how I feel. But let me give you a clear picture of what resilience is not. I'm going to use the example of my kids. So at the time of filming this video, my son, he is 9 years old, and my daughter, I'm gonna try to draw a little girl with the dress here, she is 6. And the other day, kids being kids, I overheard my son say to my daughter, "You're annoying." I've heard him go back and forth before, and I'm sure if you have kids, you understand what I mean. But then what happens next? My daughter comes to me and her mom, and she is upset that my son was calling her annoying and called her other names. Now let me ask you a question. Just because my son said something about her, did it mean that that thing is ultimately true about her? Is it a permanent attribute about her that she cannot change? No, it's not. But in the eyes of a child, they're emotionally unstable. They take those things as serious, and her identity was crushed. All over just a comment from our son that he wasn't even that serious about. So now we got to spend time building her back up, letting her know that she's loved and she's precious and she's not really annoying. It's just a part of growing up. Now what's ironic is that most adults are exactly like a child. They hear things like, no, I want to go start a business. No, maybe I've started my business and I want to win someone as my first customer. And they say, no, leave us alone. Or maybe there's people in their life that don't support them or believe in them. So they say insults, right? And they make mean comments, or people close to them undercut them or make side comments or passive aggressive remarks. And what eventually happens to most adults, they also suffer an identity crisis and they crash. They don't have internal emotional stability. They believe, just like my young 6-year-old daughter, what someone else says about them. Whether that's friends, family, employees, clients, vendors, or people that partner with them in their business, they buy into what other people say and they don't have internal emotional stability, ultimately resilience. So for you, what do you believe that others have said about you that have cut you down? Whenever you do decide to step out into your own business, if this is what you're going to do, are you ready to have resilience, to disagree with others, to not let them say who you are? Because here's ultimately what happens. No matter what someone says to you, you're gonna feel something. Now, how quickly you handle that, that's up to you. But your emotions affect your thoughts. And what affects your actions and what happens in your business is your thoughts, right? You think a certain way, you act a certain way, you get certain outcomes, then you feel a certain way, and it's a big cycle, right? Feel, think, act, repeat. Feel, think, act, repeat. And so if you're going to put your future potential on the line, you have to have conviction and resilience in yourself that others cannot define you. Personally, I find my identity in Jesus Christ, and you should do the same. And having that resilience so that you can do what your business needs done, no matter what's going on in your life around you, is what's going to allow your business to continue growing and potentially thrive through very difficult times. That's number 2, resilience. Number 3, it's going to start with an I. This is the word initiative. One of my favorite examples of what initiative is General Chesty Puller from the Marine Corps. Back in the 1950s, during the Korean War, his division was surrounded by 22 enemy divisions. And his men are coming to them in this dire situation. They've got to get out. They're all going to die if they stay where they're at. And in this absolutely dire moment, he looks at his men and his leaders and says this: all right, they're on our left, they're on our right, they're in front of us, they're behind us. They can't get away this time. And this revealed why Chesty Puller was one of the most popular and decorated Marine Corps generals ever. And it's because he had a bias towards action. If you go on to study more about him, he exemplifies what so many entrepreneurs that are successful, who step out on their own and build their own companies, that they actually do, and that is that they default, right? Default attack. We're gonna do something. We're not gonna sit around and wait. Whatever we have at our disposal right now is gonna get used, and we're gonna put all of our energy into one direction and make something happen. Now, let me be completely frank with you here. I talk with a lot of people who are looking to start their own business or have started their own business. And out of those who say they have started their own business, the vast majority of them simply say they've started because they made an LLC. They got a bank account set up. They put a website up. And then at that point, they're just not sure what to do. And I've got to tell you, that is not initiative. Initiative for a brand new entrepreneur who doesn't know what they're supposed to do goes out and finds people that are willing to give them money for something. And then they say, okay, wow, I suddenly need to go have a bank account to put this money into. They're going to go out there and make a mess. They're going to talk to people. They're going to get clients. They're going to do stuff for free and build value. They're going to take action instead of just putting some things together that's safely on their side of their computer screen and waiting till something happens. This is even true in the franchising world. Yes, what we do within our franchise is give people a complete business plan enterprise level systems. They can't tap into these things just walking into a marketplace. A whole support system behind them, training, a whole 9 yards, right? We give them absolutely everything. But an absolute essential that they must do is actually follow the plan. Take the actions. Make it happen. Even when things may not line up perfectly in their specific personal situation, are they going to sit on their hands? Or are they going to go out there and make something happen? They got to make their business exist. So it is worth pointing out that the more initiative you have, the better. But the more clarity and the more of a plan you have to follow and more support you have and all those things, that's where a franchise helps out. Your initiative does not have to be as high as someone, say, starting from complete scratch, maybe starting the next Tesla, something along those lines. But that being said, if you take the same person that had more initiative and put them into something with like a franchise system or somewhere else, right, that already has something going on, that initiative is just going to multiply and exponentially multiply whatever they're doing. So I encourage you, if you're figuring out what to do right now, you're looking at different options, have a bias towards action. Actually reach out to people, reach out to franchise brands, reach out to business owners. Really start talking to people if you're wanting to start something from complete scratch. And when I say start talking to people, I don't mean talking to them about your idea. I mean actually get them to pay you some money. Don't sit on your hands, default, attack. Okay, so now we've got guts, resilience, initiative. You may be able to guess what the last letter is. I'll show you in just a moment, but there's a key piece that is still missing from this, that if you have these three and don't have this last one, if you're not willing to commit to this last one, then I discourage you from stepping out into business for yourself. But if you're willing to commit to this last one here, then the doors of opportunity are wide open to you and your family to build an incredible business. And here it is. It starts with a T. It's tenacity. What tenacity simply is, sorry, I started writing too big up there, is keeping with it. I don't know if you've ever owned a junker of a car growing up like I did. But I remember our car would not start unless we either jumped it or we did something special to it. But it would go, but as soon as we turned it off and parked somewhere, we'd have to get it jumped all over again. And it wasn't a battery thing. It was something weird. It was a really old junker car. I'm not a mechanic, but we swapped that battery out like crazy. It didn't have tenacity. It could only start one time. These things will get you started, but they alone won't keep you going. You have to continually commit to being gutsy. You have to continually commit to resilience. You have to continually commit to putting the initiative out there and taking that action. You've got to demonstrate tenacity and commit to just making it work until it works. And that is ultimately what reveals what you need in order to have what it takes, which is grit. If knowing now that you need to have grit, which is the combination of all four of these values, if that scares you, if that terrifies you, then I would really question whether you're ready or not personally to become a business owner and to build your own company. But if you're the kind of person who's not afraid to get into the mess, if you're ready to step out, if you're ready to commit to something and to make it happen, then becoming a business owner very well may be for you. And again, that's actually what we do. And you can check out the links down below to learn more about that. And actually, we actually have a free owner readiness assessment as well down below in the links if you're not ready to talk to us just yet. But now you know what it takes. And I'd be willing to bet that right now, you know whether you should take another step forward or not. So I encourage you, practice some gutsiness, take some steps. Talk with your spouse, talk to us, talk to any other opportunity, dive in, get going with something. I hope you found this helpful. Again, my name is Matt Pinkarina, the CEO of the Assett franchise. If you know somebody else who's maybe in a similar situation as you, or who's looking to start their own business, or this could just help in general, please share this video with them. We're just here to help people be a blessing to their lives. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, stay blessed.